think if he were to hit free agency, there would be a ton of teams throwing him absolute bags, Patriots being one of them. But I think at the end of the day, he wants to be in Cincinnati. He's came out and said he wants to be in Cincinnati, and the camaraderie is there between him and Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. That entire offense was clicking on all cylinders this past season. I could see them reuniting and doing it for many more seasons after this one.
We all have consensus Tee Higgins going to the Bengals. And I think that's a perfect landing spot. I think you have to bring him back. I think you're the Bengals because Joe Burrow thrives with Tee Higgins and Jamar Chase. And I think you just have to bring him back. Have the Jamar Chase, Tee Higgins duo once again. Keep it going. But if he does go indeed, in fact, to free agency, I would like to see the Patriots try and go after him. Will the Patriots be able to sign him? Obviously, they have all the cap space, but are they willing to put up all that money for him? That's the bigger question. Hopefully, with Mike Vrabel there, maybe the answer is yes. But again, that's something that we would have to see. But I do believe that Tee Higgins is going to be a Bengal for a while and maybe for life.
Yeah.
Or at least he should be. At least he should be. Speaking of another wide receiver that should be a buck for life is Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin, obviously, he went down with that brutal injury, was out for the year, but he was having a career year before he went down with the injury. Now he's 29. He's 28 years old. He's about to turn 29 years old. He's projected to get $22.5 million a year. 3 years, $67.5 million is the projection that he's planning on getting. So by the time all said and done, that contract would be when he's about 32 years old. All three of us have different teams. But I'll start with the most boring landing spot, and Gary, you can talk about it.
I'm sorry. I think it's going to happen. You mentioned it. This guy is coming off of a career year, or what he was on pace for before he unfortunately went down with a torn Achilles, I believe it was, or ACL, something like that. It was terrible. And it was also unfortunate because that game was over, that he should not have even been in. I have him return to the Bucs. I do. I think you can't just let a guy walk after what we already mentioned. He was having a career year before he went down.
Yeah.
Of course, that injury might factor into it. How he recovers might factor into it. But, man, Baker seems to be rejuvenating his career.